And then I went out there, and I don't really remember the run too much. But then I remember warming up, and yeah, when I got the ball back for the first hitter, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
From the EQC Studio, welcome to The Top Step with Ryan Rowland-Smith.
How we going, mates? Welcome back to The Top Step. My name is Ryan Rowland-Smith. We are inside the EQC Studio. Special thanks to Emerald Queen Casino. By the way, we're going to be back there August 30th. It's going to be a Friday. Make sure you come check it out. We're going to be at the EQC Sportsbook. We had so much fun last time we were down there with Casey Sadler. We're going to have some special guests. Come join us. Make sure you also go to YouTube at the Top Step TV. Go subscribe. That way you're not going to miss any of the extra content or the unedited full versions of my interviews. All the guests I have, it's all over there, and it's unedited. Plus, if you'd like to listen to The Top Step, go to anywhere you get your podcast. Go to The Top Step. You'll find it. Go listen. All right, we have got a massive episode for you. I've got Troy Taylor joining me. I can't wait to talk to this kid. He had such a memorable debut, and he seems like a good dude. It seems like he's going to participate in the How to Speak Australian segment. I'm really hoping so. We'll see. He's going to come join me right after the break. Now, speaking of rookies, this week's version of the top trends, I want to dive into rookies. I'm going to post a question. So let's get right into it. This week's edition of the top trends. All right, this stat is brought to you by ilovebaseball.org. Go to ilovebaseball.org for $39 a month. You can change a young ball player in the Dominican Republic's life, everything to do on the field, off the field. So let's talk about some of the Mariners rookies who are making their debut this year. You're talking five of them. You got Troy Taylor, Leo Rivas, Tyler Locklear. I have to throw Jonathan Clase and Ryan Bliss. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Which of these five young men are going to already have or going to make the biggest impact for the Seattle Mariners in 2024? And we're talking not just stats, we're talking in the playoffs as well. So you got Leo Rivas, who's getting a little bit more playing time, by the way. A couple big hits back against the Mets a couple weekends ago. You've got Jonathan Clase, who, by the way, just got traded to the Blue Jays for Justin Turner. I'm going to talk about why that's significant as well. Ryan Bliss, and then Troy Taylor, who's joining me right after the break. So when I'm looking at this, first of all, Ryan Bliss, he's had some big moments. He started to get hot right before he was sent down. He came back up, had a big home run. He's starting to swing it a little bit harder. He's been on the show, by the way. You can go check out that interview. But he's starting to look more and more comfortable every time he gets to the big leagues. He just needs that extended time here, I think, to really make an impact. It's kind of tough now with Polanco doing what he's doing. Polanco is crushing the ball right now, and defensively, Polanco has been ridiculous. Go back to that weekend against the Mets, some amazing plays. So that makes it a little tougher for Ryan Bliss, but I still think if he had everyday playing time, he could make an impact. You've got Leo Rivas, who, you know, in my opinion, he's filling in nicely. You got JP Crawford on the IL, so Leo's getting a little bit more playing time, but you're still seeing him down this, 7th, 8th, 9th in the lineup. So he's not a huge impact offensively. And then you got Tyler Locklear, who, Tyler's going to be a big impact. I can feel it when he gets everyday playing time and it's not so pressure-packed where they need impact right away. I think Tyler can be a really big impact. But that takes me to number one, Jonathan Clase. Now, he's no longer a Seattle Mariner. But what was his biggest impact? The trade that brought in Justin Turner. Now, how big is Justin Turner going to be? He's already crushing the ball. He's already making an impact. And a big part of the trade deadline. Huge move, not just on the field, but in the clubhouse as well. So, Jonathan Clase is up there. Now, I'm going to ask you which one of these guys, I'm getting to the last one in just a second, which one of these rookies will make the biggest impact? And we're talking about playoffs as well. So, in my opinion, the last one, we got Troy Taylor. I watched him pitch in that debut. I'm telling you, man, we're talking 96, 97 with sink. Big old sweeping slider. Can't wait to ask him about that. Man, can you see him? We're talking the stretch run in September when everyone's starting to run on fumes a little bit. Andres Munoz he can't go 1+. You've got a couple of the other guys in the bullpen who are being pushed a little bit in the month of August. How big is Troy Taylor going to be in the month of September? But I'm going to ask this. If Ryan Bliss, who runs, what if you have him come playoff time, pinch runs, steals a big bag? You see it every year in the playoffs. So I'm going to ask you, fans, go to @the Top Step TV. You let me know Who do you think out of all these rookies, and I'm even throwing Class A in there because you got Justin Turner to the Mariners, who is going to make the biggest impact when it's all said and done, how deep this team gets into the postseason and beyond, wherever they end up? Who is going to make the biggest impact? That's what I'm asking you. All right. Speaking of rookies, I've got one joining me right after the break. Troy Taylor comes and joins me right here in the EQC studio. So don't go anywhere. He'll be right here on the Top Step.
Here's what's happening at Emerald Queen Casino this week. Lucky 4 Lottery, our most popular promotion, is bringing the luck Wednesdays in August. Match 3 numbers to win free play. Match 4 numbers to win $5,000 cash. Fridays and Saturdays, join the party with great music at Slahall's Rooftop Remix, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Play Spin to Win every day at the promotion kiosks, where every spin wins a prize. You gotta be here for it. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
All right, welcome back to the EQC Studios and welcome back to the Top Step. And by the way, welcome to Seattle. We have got on the San Juan Seltzer this week, rookie Troy Taylor. Troy, how you doing, mate?
Good. How are you? I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, no, dude, I appreciate you coming on, man. You had one of those memorable debuts. It's always kind of like 50-50, right? So, like, I had a pretty good debut. I got lucky. We'll get smashed in the game, but I got to strike out. You know, legend coming back to Seattle, Kangaroo Jr. That was the first hitter I ever faced. But, dude, you had, like, we're talking Sunday night baseball, afternoon game, your team's winning, you got the 9th inning, family there, punch out a few dudes, you finish the game on a strikeout, and then you get to do, like, the whole celebration, like, right out of the gates where, you know, you give Cal Raleigh the big hug, walk behind the mound, you do the jig. So, dude, talk us through it, man. How awesome was that debut for you?
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, I woke up and I was thinking like, oh man, it'd be pretty cool to debut on Sunday Night Baseball. So yeah, you know, the game went by and we were scoring runs. We got a big lead, and then you know, I was kind of in the bullpen like, oh man, like this would be a good time to debut. We were up by like, you know, 11 or 12 or whatever. And the bullpen catcher kept telling me like, stay locked in. Like this is, you know, if they're gonna put you in, like this is a really good spot. So you know, I just stayed locked in, did my routine, and yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Were you like, at what point in the game you like, okay, man, this is it. This is the day. Like, was it like we talking like when the team started putting up a bunch of runs, like middle of the game, like, okay, for sure I'm pitching today?
Yeah, it was never like a for sure, but about the 6th or 7th inning, I was thinking like, oh man, if we're, you know, if this holds, like I got a pretty good shot at going this game.
Because I remember, so I got called up and I went up for 3 days, right? And again, we haven't met. Probably don't even know who I am, but basically, you know, come over from a no name from Australia, get called up to the big leagues, and I go up for 3 days. We're playing the Yankees. I don't pitch, and there's a couple like not blowouts, but there's like some sizable leads. I'm like, for sure they're going to put me in. I don't pitch. I end up getting optioned back down, and I'm thinking to myself, for sure that's my story, man. Like I'm going to go up to the big leagues for 3 days, never pitch. And tell kids when I'm like, my age, I'm 41 years old now, I'm going to tell kids, yeah, I played in the big leagues. Like, no, you didn't. So I thought for sure that was going to be and then so it took me like 3 weeks. And then the first day I was back up, I mean, we were getting destroyed. I got a chance to pitch. But I remember warming up and just like in that bullpen, same spot you were at T-Mobile. And like, for me, I don't know how it was for you, but I'm warming up. I felt like I hadn't thrown a baseball in like a month. Like the ball was coming out of my hand funny. I couldn't throw a strike in the bullpen. Was any of that for you, or were you just like, oh man, I'm just going to absolutely destroy here when I go in?
A little bit. I mean, my first few warm pitches weren't great, and then our bullpen coach was like, relax, and then I threw a couple good ones, and I was like, okay, I can do this. Like I remember how to throw. Right. And then yeah, I got warm pretty quick. I probably threw too many pitches, but that's fine in the bullpen. You know, that I had that nervous energy.
Right.
And then I went out there, and I don't really remember the run too much. But then I remember warming up, and yeah, when I got the ball back for the first hitter, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's funny too, man, because like you mentioned warming up too much. I remember because I was in the bullpen, I'd throw way too much before games. And then all of a sudden I started having a little bit of success. And they're like, hey man, you're going to be ready to go tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Because tell me this, dude, I don't know how it is for you now, but in AA, are they like, you're not going like back to back to back, right? Are you doing any back to backs in AA?
No, I didn't do any back to backs. They usually give you a day off.
Right.
You're supposed to do back-to-backs before you come up to be ready, but it just didn't work out like that. But I'm fairly new to pitching, so I always felt like even if they wanted me to go back-to-backs, I mean, my arm felt good, so I don't really foresee it being an issue. The minor leagues, they kind of give you your rest days.
Yeah, you got to the big leagues quick, man. I mean, it only took a couple years. Like, and you said you're new to pitching, so talk us through that. Like, so you were an infielder before that. Now, by the way, I saw this play you made when you're in Everett off the mound barehanded. There's no way I'm making that play at all. I was worst off the mound. But talk us through that. What went down there? When did you make that transition to pitch, or you were two-way going into school? What happened there?
Yeah, so I was a hitter only in high school, and then my senior year, I just kind of like got up the mound and I was throwing hard. So then I just closed games, threw fastballs right down the middle. And then when I went to Long Beach State my first year, I two-wayed, and then they transitioned me to a pitcher about January. Yeah, about January. Gotcha. And then I went to Cypress after that, and then that was when I started full-time pitching. And then I went to UC Irvine, and then I got drafted.
So you went to Long Beach, and then what? Did you get cut, or they're like, hey, listen, like?
Yeah, I got cut.
Okay, and then down to JUCO. Yeah. Hey, man, I help out like a bunch of Aussie kids come over and do it's the same thing. Like they come over first year, they've just committed to too many dudes, and then they go back to JUCO. Well, dude, it worked out, man. I mean, yeah. Wow. Do you keep in touch? Like, is there any hard feelings with you in Long Beach?
No, not really. I still have buddies there from the freshman class, but I only talked to probably a couple of them.
Right. Is there any, and again, dude, I can say this now because you're a big leaguer now, dude. Like, and you just, you came up, had a memorable debut, national TV, by the way. Have you ever ran into any of the coaches who did cut you or any of that after, like, obviously not after your debut, but after you get drafted and you have a bit of success, and you are a success story?
Yeah, we played them when I went to Irvine. We were in the same conference, so we played them. But other than that, no.
How'd you do when you played against them?
Pretty good.
When you were coming out of high school, I know you're a Southern California guy. Was Long Beach that place you're like, this is where I really want to go to?
Yeah, they were my only Division I offer.
No way.
At high school. Okay. So yeah, there was not a ton of choice, but I grew up an Angel fan, so we even went there, which was cool. So yeah, I mean, it was always a place that I wanted to go to, and coming out of my area, that's kind of one of like the hotbot schools, one of the schools that a lot of Southern California baseball players want to go to. So it was cool.
Right.
It was cool.
Yeah. You a big Jared Weaver fan? Or are we talking?
Yeah.
Did Jeff Weaver go there too, or just Jared Weaver?
I think just Jared.
That's right. Yeah, I did. I played. That's who I played against. We're in the same division. Holter, he was so good, man. Yeah. And even when he started throwing like way slower, he was still dominating.
Still good. Yeah.
Oh, he was so good. So okay. I was going to ask you this because you guys you play the Dodgers coming up. So you're not a Dodgers fan. Playing in Dodger Stadium doesn't do anything for you. It's more at the Angels.
I mean, it'll do something for me for sure. But no, I grew up an Angels fan. But my grandma and my mom are huge Dodger fans, so I went to way more Dodger games growing up than Angel games.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're gonna have quite the pass list, man, at Dodger Stadium. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to high school, so how much did you pitch in high school? Like, we talking a lot, or was it just occasionally?
No, I probably threw like 10 innings my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how hard we talking? Like, how hard are we throwing in high school?
I mean, hard for high school, but not, 89, 92 maybe.
That's gas.
Yeah.
I did have, who was it? I had someone on this show recently, I think maybe Bryce Miller. He's like, I was touching 95 here. And I'm like, what? Like, it's insane, dude. Because I was throwing like mid-80s at best. I mean, mind you, this is way back in the day. The times are different. And then, so you were from 90-92s when you're just throwing. And by the way, how dare you, dude? You barely even pitch, and you're still pumping gas. It just drives me nuts. So when was it where the velocity started to really pick up for you? Was it in college?
Yeah, in college. So the summer going into my junior college year, I really got in the weight room. That was during COVID, so there's no plan,
Okay.
no nothing. So I got in the weight room, gained probably 20, 25 pounds. Worked on mechanics, started doing a throwing program like a pitcher, because I never really done one of those. And then that was when it kind of ticked up. And then I went from like 93 to 95, and then when I went to Irvine, I gained another one. Like I was like 94, 96, and then and now I'm 6 to 8, touching 9s. So it's kind of ticked up every year. I think just based on pitching more, getting older, getting stronger, getting more flexible, understanding myself on the mound. Like it's a lot of different factors that kind of go into that.
Was there like a pitching coach is like, hey, look, we're going to do this program that got you over a certain hump in regards to like, wow, I just went from throwing 94s, 95, sorry, like 92s, 93s. Now all of a sudden I'm, up mid to upper 90s. Was there like a program or something or something you took on, or is it just a gradual?
I had pitching coaches that helped me. I worked out at Iron Spikes, this place in Upland, California, during COVID, and then when I went to Irvine, I started working with this pitching coach named Brian Bass, which kind of helped me. But it was more of a like, you can do it. Let's see how consistently you can do it, and how well I can move to put less stress on my arm and just stay healthy and throw more strikes.
Right, gotcha. Because you made a comment about your slider / sweeper, modeling that after Matt Brash. Was that, when you say that, is that something when you watch him on TV like, oh man, I want it to look like that? Or is that like diving into the weeds where it's like, okay, here's the grip, I'm sitting there with Matt Brash even in spring training? Or like, talk us through the process of that.
Yeah, a little bit of both, I'd say. I mean, you see it on TV, you're like, wow, I want to throw that. That's absolutely disgusting. But the Mariners, they taught me the grip and kind of the cues that he uses, and I talked to him the other day. So I'd say it's a little bit of both. I use the same grip, and then the cues are kind of the same, but it doesn't move like his. His is insane, but it's kind of the same. I want to get to there.
How hard is that, man? Because people are under the assumption that like, oh yeah, you just get the grip and you tell them to do this and that, you throw it 5 or 6 times, and then you start to. It's not that easy, right? Like, and again, not saying that you're expected to throw it like his, because everyone's different, everyone moves different. But how hard is that, dude? Like when you have, let's say you're fastball sinker, and then you throw a slider, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to change the grip here, and I'm talking, you're going to go out and compete against, whether it's AA, AAA. These are some of the best hitters on the planet. The hard thing is, if you go down that path, well, then all of a sudden, if it sucks, you've just wasted all this time, with this different grip. How hard is that to switch it? Or is it something for you, you're like, oh man, okay, whoops, I didn't know this grip existed, and then zap, 2 pitches later, there it was.
No, it was difficult. It was a lot of trying different things, especially in low A. Last year, I was switching grips a lot, and it was getting frustrating because some outings I'd go out there with a new grip they wanted me to try, and I was like, I don't really know what this is going to do. So then I wasn't locating it well. Yeah. But then towards the end of last year, into the fall league, and this year, I really honed in the grip that I currently have, and then just throwing it more, I'm commanding it better. Just because I'm getting more reps with the same the same grip, the same cues, the same ideas.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was difficult last year, but then towards the end, we kind of found one that worked, that I can do consistently, and I just stuck with it.
Was this your first year in big league camp?
I wasn't in big league camp.
Oh, you weren't in? Oh, dude, no. Let's rephrase that then. You weren't even in big league camp. I love it. That's great. So okay, so you're not even in big league camp. Did you feel like were you expecting to go to big league camp this year?
Not really. It was it was kind of early. They told me that I probably wasn't going to be in big league camp, but I pitched in a lot of big league games. I would back them up, and then sometimes, like especially in the beginning of spring training when not everybody's built up, there's the like 8th and 9th inning are kind of open during the game. So I threw in a lot of those. I probably threw in 8 or 9 big league games, gotcha. Even though I wasn't in big league camp.
I live in Tacoma. and I'm all about the action. From making a run at the tables to multiple pay lines on my favorite machines. Game time. The sportsbook is better than being on the 50-yard line or sitting courtside. And I'm here for it. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Have you ever been to Australia?
No, I haven't.
But you've been around some Australians. You Blake Townsend, who was with the Aqua Sox. You were buddies with him, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully he hasn't dropped one of these on you. And you're like, what does that mean? So hopefully I can stump you here, because this is how it works. This is the How to Speak Australian segment, brought to you by Kangaroo and Kiwi. So I'm going to give you a word. I'll give you a sentence as well. You have to guess it. Now, if you don't guess it, I'm not going to give you the answer until after we get off, because it gives a chance for people on social media who are watching this to go to social media, get it at the Top Step TV, and they can try and answer correctly, win some prizes. If they get you got to put hashtag TTS mate for it to count. All right, so Troy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, the How to Speak Australian word this week, brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi, is buggered. Do you know what buggered means?
Buggered.
Do you want me to spell it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, there may be some different ways to spell it, but it's spelled B-U-G-G-E-R-E-D. Buggered. Yeah, I'll do an American accent. Buggered.
Okay.
What do you got?
Okay. Well, I know that Blake said that you guys call shopping carts buggies, but
Maybe that's a Melbourne thing. Not where I'm from.
yeah, maybe not. I'm just gonna go with like annoyed, like you like.
Not
like,
bad.
Yeah, like
Not bad.
Like you're
Close.
bugging somebody.
That's not it. It's close. Now, I'm going to give you a sentence, but I'm going to give it away. And if you get it, well, then the game's over for all our friends on social media. But, man, I had a long flight into Detroit on my first road trip. I was sitting up all night on that chartered flight, having a blast, and now I'm absolutely buggered. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. So like it's like you're tired.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, I gave that away. By the way, because you're a rookie, I gave that. I made it easy for you.
Yeah, I appreciate
All
it.
right,
I appreciate it.
Plus, you're on an off day today, and you have to go buy some new shoes. Apparently, too many pairs of Vans. That you've got that LA, that Southern California look to you, and you've been told no more Vans. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what I hear?
I gotta get some nicer shoes now that I'm making big league money.
That's right. Hey, but the big leagues now is all laid back in my day. I keep going back to when I played back in the old school days. I feel like a dinosaur now. But dude, we had to wear like suits on the plane. It was uncomfortable. You guys aren't wearing suits, right? You're wearing comfortable clothes, right?
Yeah, no, they gave us like Lulu tracksuits. They're really nice.
Big league, dude.
Yes.
That's
So
unreal.
there's that, and then they said one day it's just like polos, no straight suit or nothing.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's a little more laid back, which is cool.
But you can't wear the Vans with the Lulu tracksuit. Or you can.
No.
You just can't rock
Oh
up.
yeah,
the field
I
wearing
did
them.
yesterday. They don't care with the tracksuit. But yeah, with the polo and the dress pants or golf pants, I'm gonna see if I can get something a little nicer.
Nice, there you go. Well, listen, man, I'll let you go hit it up and go spend all that big league money. No, don't spend all that big league money. Go put it away. Go be
Appreciate
smart.
it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Troy, listen, man, I look forward to meeting you in person once you're back in town. But dude, first of all, congrats on a legendary debut. You'll never forget it. I mean, Sunday
Thank
night
you.
baseball, everything else. Got on that big league jet right after it. And welcome to Seattle, dude. I know a lot of people are excited to see you, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.